So this is my audience. My mom's going to be running the camera, and these are my cards. Okay, so we have me, we have Ms. Terrell, Mr. Schaefer, Ms. Morris, and Kate. Ms. Wall, excuse me. And we have Bo, the service dog.
Therapy dog.
Therapy dog, excuse me.
Big difference.
Imagine a particularly hard day. You seem to be curled up in a ball and you just can't focus on anything. You feel like a turtle flipped over on its back. You just feel helpless. Then you feel the soft nudge of a dog in your hand. And suddenly you're brought back to reality. The calm returns and you're able to gain your focus back. This dog is an example of a psychological service dog. Today I will be telling you about the certification processes, the purpose of these dogs, and the most common breeds for these dogs. So, what does it take to be a psychological service dog? It has the same rigorous training that it would take to be a regular type of service dog. It's just as intensive. The definition of it, according to the American Disability Act, is any dog that is designed and trained to individually train and help someone with a disability. The International Association of Assistance Dogs have 5 main requirements that would allow the dog to go out and go in public. So the first would be schooling. There must be 120 hours of training total, and 30 that should be beneficial hours for the dog. Just going out and training in the outdoors in the real world with people. The second is obedience. They must know at least the basic obedience skills, such as sitting, listening, and they must be able to perform a drop leash recall. A drop leash recall is when the owner may drop the leash, the dog will come back to the owner so the owner can pick the leash back up and continue holding the leash. The third is manners. Again, this is kind of common sense. They must be able to listen, they must be able to pay attention to their owner, they must not defecate or urinate in public unless asked to, and they must just stay by their owner's side. They may not have any prohibited training. This could be anything that could trigger their more instinctual, more wild side of the dog, or it could trigger fear. None of that training is allowed. And the fifth and most important factor is being able to complete disability-related tasks for their owner. So, what exactly, now that we've talked about that, let's talk about the purpose of these dogs. Why do people need them? So Joan Fulling of the IADP lists 4 activities that these dogs do best and what they are to help with. So the first is assistance in a medical crisis. This could be for psychological reasons, it could be a panic attack, it could be any form of that. So the dog is able to go find backup medication, it can go find help if you're in a suicidal situation. The dog has a special canine phone in certain circumstances where the dog can go to the canine phone, put their paw on it, and it will call automatically. That's good in circumstances where the owner is not in the right mental state to do that. The second thing is treatment-related assistance. This is reminders for normal medication. They could bring the medication to you. Some of them are trained to get water out of the fridge so you can have a beverage to take the medication with. The third is coping with emotional overload. Again, this goes back to the medical crises where they bring you the medicine, the backup medicine, they're there to calm you down, they have many beneficial factors. They, long-term, can affect blood pressure, and they can help lower that, lower triglycerides, and overall, they're just very calming. And then the fourth is security enhancements in public. So a lot of people, especially if they have paranoia or they get distracted easily with ADHD, they don't feel safe sometimes in public. And even if they don't feel safe, the dog is there to take precautions. In the home, the dog is able to go and they can find an escape route, and they can go and also they can turn lights on, and they can do things that will calm down and slower the the fear factor and the panic, and they can make that subside. And they can also make sure that people who seem very suspicious or are threatening to their owner, they will make sure that the owner gets away from them. So now that we've discussed that, there are many service dog types, and I think for certain things, there is no specific breed that a dog must be to be a service dog. Any breed can go, but there are factors that you should think of if you're going to have a service dog. The first thing, as defined by Veronica Morris of Psychiatric Service Dog Partners, is the activity level of the dog. If you're someone who is low activity, you need a dog that is not going to be high energy and high activity, because that will not work out for either of you. And if you need something more higher energy to keep you on your feet, then go with a more energetic dog, so you two just have to match. The next is the ability to assist you. If you need help standing up or going up steps or anything like that, you're not going to want a small dog. You're going to want a big dog, because they're able to just hold you up and keep you in the right position. So that's important to think of. Next is the coat type. If you or anyone you live with is allergic to dog dander or anything like that, you're going to need an hypoallergenic coat on your dog. And the last, and probably maybe the most important, is the personality of the dog. If you need a very calming dog, you don't get something that's very loud and barks a lot. You get something that has a calm demeanor, the same way you want to feel, because that way the dog will rub off on you in that way. And if you need a high energy dog, just like the activity level, then that would work better. So now I think all of that ties together. And so in conclusion, I think that overall, psychological service dogs, they are able to aid people with basic life tasks to integrate them better into their environment and make them feel a bit more normalized, and just really assist people and get them back to the way they need to be. So hopefully this got that all together for you. Thank you.
What'd you think, Bo? Huh?
Actually have a therapy dog in here, which is slightly different, but we do have a therapy dog with us today.
Oh, yes, you have a whole bunch of different